Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level best of 3 of StarCraft 2. Today we've got Beyond and Rogue, and I hear you think to yourself, my boy Harstem, good old Harstem from the Netherlands. How did you, without an American visa, manage to get these replays? I thought they were only available to the freest country, the boldest, the most courageous warriors of the free world. But no, my dear friends, you couldn't have been more wrong. So I got these replays, and I'm here to tell you all about them. Starting off with a triple Rex Reaper. This is a build that Beyond probably has fond memories of. In 2016, he won the BlizzCon, back then the World Championships, pretty much off the back of this build order. Back then, Reapers were a little bit better. I do have to admit that. They had a lot of power. We pretty much saw this build every single game in the Terran versus Zerg matchup. Nowadays, 2 Rex Reaper is still very common, but 3 Rex Reaper, not quite as much. What has Rogue actually scouted? Rogue has decided to scout absolutely nothing. A decision that might end up biting him in the bum. This is one of these things where once it's too late, it's too late. Like if you do not have the correct response against 3 Rex Reaper, it can really go horribly wrong for you. And not getting any information on that is a tough one. So usually what you do is you check the CC timing, but because Rogue kept his Overlord hidden, did not want to potentially lose it against some Marine opener, he's now going to be quite late with everything. Reapers all stay alive, first Queen is going to end up falling. This hatchery is falling a little bit lower as well. His metabolic boost did get rushed out, so we're gonna get link speed to finish up in about 6 seconds from now, and I think Rogue is going to go for a flank here. However, I do believe this to be scouted already by Beyond. Beyond keeps his Reapers together. Rogue's going to need to build a lot of links to fight this army. So the beauty of the Reaper is that if controlled well, Reapers, once you get like 8, 9, 10 Reapers, you can pretty much beat an unlimited amount of links if your micro is very solid. And I feel like Beyond might have that level of micro still. He might be capable of just kind of running around and maybe lose a Reaper if he gets surrounded, but with good grenade usage, you can actually make a lot happen. So Rogue has built a lot of links right now. It's possible that he's gonna go for an attack on the tech lab. Beyond did get the unlucky spawn because the add-ons are all spawning on the right side here. So rather than being on the inside, like if he spawns over here, barracks, add-ons on the inside makes them a little bit more secure. But he's actually gonna go for it, putting a lot of damage onto this hatchery. 217 HP remaining. As Beyond starts running away, he doesn't want to fight on creep. I think that is probably the only requirement he has of his Reapers, is that they do not fight too deeply onto creep. But he's feeling it. He's hungry. He is very hungry for a kill here. So he's gonna go in, gets another shot. And he doesn't want to overcommit onto this hatchery either, right? Like, you could probably target it down, but then you end up losing 8 drones. I'm not even sure if that is worth it. So he's kind of just hanging around, making sure that he can always back off if he needs to. Currently on 32 SCVs. Marines moving across the map. This is going to be quite an... Ooh, this is a bad split. This is a really bad split for him. This could end up horribly. It could actually also end up being kind of okay. Reapers are gonna get surrounded, but slip by. Slippery like an eel, these guys. Oil themselves in every single morning. They are disgusting. But if it gets very warm, you can cook an egg on them. And it won't even stick to them. Reapers, famously non-stick. Carapace starts right now as well. I think Beyond's actually just gonna make a play for this base. More links on the way as well. 5 queens in position though. Not so sure how brilliant this plan is anymore. 5 queens really is quite a lot. There's nothing in the main, nothing in the natural. Stim has finished up. There's going to be quite a bit of damage output here. +1 finishing up in about 2 seconds from now. Here comes Stim, and here come a couple of Reaper grenades. I can only imagine. +1 finishes up. Awkward fight here for Rogue. Does end up getting this around. Queens don't fight, and a lot of links end up falling. At the end of the day, the threat is gone right now. The threat has been neutralized, and that is exactly what Rogue wants. It allows him to potentially drone up a little bit. Still has links, has queens available. I'd say personally, we're gonna full saturate these 3 bases, at least on minerals. So 16, 16, 16, and then maybe go for 4 gas. It seems like Rogue actually wants 5 gas. I do wonder if he can fully saturate that though. Yeah, he's gonna be stuck on 52 works for a little bit longer. Behind all of this, Beyond is opting to go for the double CC all-in. So it is not going to be a triple CC into a long macro game. It is instead just going to be a 2-base tank push behind this. So 3 racks into 2-base tank push. And let me tell you, I'm all here for it. I freaking love this build. We don't see it a whole lot, but when we do see it, it feels pretty freaking cool. All right. What else do we have right now? We have a crap ton of links. 47. No Baneling Nest, I think. Yeah, no Baneling Nest. Could be bad. Baneling's definitely a necessity. Fort base is going to get cancelled. And look at the amount of money that Rogue already has. He kind of prepared for it by getting a macro hatch in the main base, which is obviously going to be the correct call here, right? You're floating this much cash. That is just what you're supposed to do. I also feel like Rogue understands what's going on. Like, he hasn't gotten a scout into the main base, but I think he knows what the follow-up is. Either due to experience or just by seeing the lack of a third. Like, it is possible there's a CC up here, but like the way that Rogue is playing, just kind of low worker, extremely high queen. Like, he's spending all of his cash. Like, he's gonna go 12 queen here, infestation pit. So usually getting up to hive is kind of a game ender here. Actually, I'd even go as far to say that usually getting +2 carapace is kind of a game ender. Maybe getting hive is a little bit too much even. Potentially the infestation pit is just for infestors. Because don't forget, we don't have a single Baneling or a Baneling Nest out right now. So if the Marine count actually grows a little bit too high, that could be an issue. Because Lynx just don't scale very well against Marines. We currently have 40 Marines against 96 Lynx. Okay, it's going to be Infestor. This makes some sense to me. He's also going into hive. Staying very low drone count, so he must know there's no third base. I mean, he's continuously getting that confirmation here. I just feel like Banelings would make life so much easier for him. Beyond, unironically, would be better off having his entire army connected, by the way, here. Marines do very well when properly balled up in a big punch. 2 tanks dealing a lot of damage. This fight is going better for Rogue than I had expected, as he manages to take out both of these tanks. And he lowers the Marine count significantly. However, at the end of the day, he doesn't kill all the Marines. Supplies are more even right now than they were before, but I do kind of think that was one of the best fights, probably, that he could have taken, as a bunch of Marines almost go down. We get the last second pickup over here. Double Liberators show up on this spot as well. Hive is about to finish up. Before the Hive is going to do something useful, we're probably like a minute and a half away from that moment. Is he gonna go Ultra Cavern from here on out? I'd be shocked by that. I'm almost suspecting either... Okay, he's gonna go for it. I was gonna either Viper or Adrenal Glands. Ultra Cavern is what, like another 46 seconds? Then the Ultras, they won't even have Chitinous quite yet. There are some Liberators, some tanks, so a single Ultra isn't gonna cut it. I almost say a Viper or, yeah, just Adrenal might be better, as Queen's now starting to fall as well here. At the same time, you have an attack on the top side, but that's a fake out. So these queens are going to end up dying, majority of them at least. We had 12 queens before, we have 8 remaining, not all of them in position. We're 3-base versus 3-base, with Beyond taking a significant supply lead right now, as double Medivacs are trying to get into position. And we still have the macro hatch in the main base, but don't forget, at some point this CC can fly down as well. I said it's 3-base versus 3-base, but it's of course 2-base versus 3-base. And Beyond is still 2-base not winning, actually. It's not quite what I'm used to seeing. Okay, we're gonna get Chitinous. That's what, 57 seconds? 79 seconds on Chitinous. Holy crap, that's a long upgrade. Yeah, so we're like a minute away from being safe here as Rogue. And I am not entirely sure if Beyond is going to give us a bone at that minute. I don't know if Beyond is aware of the Hive. No, he seems to be blissfully unaware of everything. And even Ultras without Chitinous and just +2 Carapace are kind of good, because he's getting 5 of them. I actually am loving this run by. I think it's such a good call. I just don't entirely know how good the ultras are going to be here. Chitinous plating is getting closer and closer to finishing up though. So these things are trying to push through. That is a wild maneuver that honestly kind of ends up working out here for the Lynx. A couple of SCVs going down as well. Double drop needs to pick up on this side. Get a scan further forward. That reveals the Ultralisk. I cannot believe that Rogue managed to pull these out of here. That is such a wild thing to happen. One Lynx did go down on this side of the map. Here comes another stim. Liberators are 4 in number. We have 3 tanks behind it as well. So there's actually quite a bit of like big impact damage that does very well against Ultralisk, as these Marines start going into the main base right now. This is super awkward here for Rogue. As this Chitin is complete, a couple more shots here on this tank. I think Liberators really are the key, as this base gets taken out, not cancelled by the way, just killed. Okay, here comes the triple ultra flank, I think. That's what it's gonna be. No anabolic synthesis, so they're not gonna be that fast. This lost to lot of shots here. First Ultra's gonna go down. Liberators probably need target onto those Ultras rather than the Queens, as tanks are falling down. At the same time, we're still way up in supply here for Beyond. He's just gonna pick up majority of his Marines. The Liberators are the unchecked ones right now. He jumps into the main base, says, hey, if you want to go into your own main base, you're going to need to walk past both of these Liberators again with your Ultras, which is not going to be an easy task. Double drop here still on the top side as well. Third base is now finished up. Beyond taking a 30 supply lead as 4 Marauders are being produced at a time. We already have about 9 Marauders at home. Double drop here killing a couple more Overlords as well. This is such a ridiculous game to start things off with. Rogue once again is going to confirm the lack of a third base, but at this point so much damage has been dealt that I honestly think that the eco situation is completely fine here for Beyond. He has good enough tech as well in the Marauder. It's not like we're getting +3 carapace here as well. It's not like we have 20 Banelings in the mix and 7 bases. No, this is a practically a 1.5 base Zerg player right now who does not have any anti-air except for the Queen, who does not really have a way to attack, and it's just down. It's just way down in everything. Hey, the Ultras are a cool touch, but the Marauders are a cooler touch. So we're getting the starport pumping out some medevacs right now. We still have this drop being active. This drop has really paid for itself like 5 times over. I don't know how many hatcheries have gone down or been cancelled. Like 2 have been killed, but I feel like more have been cancelled on this top side. I feel like I've seen it like 3 or 4 times already, where Beyond just kind of kept control. And I initially said it might be best to keep all these Marines together, and maybe against the first Ling, like the first Ling defense, that was true. But afterwards, absolutely zero chance that was true. These drops have absolutely saved the game for Beyond. And now there's a third base. We're going to get a triple drop out as well. I think Beyond is just ready to take it here. I don't really see a way for him to lose this game anymore. He's getting his +3. His opponent's getting his +3 carapace as well, so both upgrades are staying somewhat even Stevens. But 52 workers to 49 in favor of the Terran while you're running triple mule as well. Let's not forget, this is not a like a double orbital command situation where the main flew towards the third base. No, this is now a proper 3 base. I mean, you're not mining from your main, so really it's just a proper 2 base with, well, and you're not really even mining from your natural. Really it's just a proper 1.5 base, but I think it's just going to be enough due to the help of the mules. We get a drop into the main base. GG's going to get called as Beyond wins game number 1 here, off of a 3 Rex Reaper on Ruby Rock. And although we'll count that as a win for the 3 Rex Reaper, it didn't feel like a win for 3 Rex Reaper. Like, it wasn't because of the 3 Rex Reaper that Beyond won. To me, whenever I watch Zergs play these Infestor Ling styles, whenever there's big Marine balls or big Hellbat attacks, it always feels like it just kind of falls apart, and Zergs are very reluctant to switch out. Like, even after Rogue had started the Infestors, I still feel like he can just add in like Banelings at any point the moment he realized he's playing against a 2-base attack, which I think he realized quite early on, but instead he went for the Ultralisk Cavern and then Chitinous Plating. And the thing with Ultra Cavern and Chitinous Plating is it feels very, you know how in Helm's Deep, you know, look to the east on the dawn of the 5th day, and then Gandalf comes riding in with the Riders of Rohan. And, you know, they slaughter the orcs. That's kind of what the Ultralisk are, you know? But if at the 3rd day you lose 2 hatcheries, like Gandalf can come in all he wants, but there's nothing left to save anymore. It might just be better to just get Banelings in that case. If in Lord of the Rings you throw some freaking Banelings into the Uruk-hais, that would also have been very successful. And if you can do that at the day 2 or day 3, you might save some people's lives. And definitely hatchery 4 and 5, which is just what kind of kept dying here for Rogue again and again. So, you know, respect for playing... Oh, is he doing it again? No, there's 2 Rex Reaper this time. So respect to Beyond for playing the 3 Rex Reaper, you know, trying to make it work. But yeah, I just feel like there was... This was more on Rogue than it was on Beyond for winning. Either way, we're here in game number 2, and we're playing on Mothership 3-player map, the only 3-player map in the map pool. Currently the only 3-player map that we have right now. It is what it is, as Rogue spawns on the left, Beyond on the right, and it's going to be a 2cc Reaper, 2 Barracks Reaper. It's going to be relatively quick. First Reaper is going to move towards the south side. Rogue is going to scout this time around. He'll see the lack of a natural, but this is normal. I think 225 or... Oh, actually 210 it goes down already. Okay, I was fairly far off there. So 210 it goes down. Right now Rogue has the confirmation as to what this is. Beyond also gets the confirmation as to where his opponent is, because I think he saw that Overlord. And as a result, he's just going to start moving in here right now with this Reaper. Gonna start banging some of these drones. And these drones are not having the time of their lives. These drones are having a lot of things, but definitely not the time of their lives. Okay, it turns into a spore and pisses off. Fast speed once more coming out here, out of Rogue. Third hatchery goes down as well. I wonder if this is something that you just want to shoot at, or it doesn't seem like Beyond is very much down with that thought of just shooting the hatchery, trying to get a kill on that. I think it's too late to try it now. Just don't think you can get there in time no more. Single queen on the low ground. Reem's actually dealing quite a bit of damage here. Second queen shows up. Don't know what the hell this guy was doing. He's just kind of, I guess, chilling on the bottom side, making sure that no one jumps up. Fair play to that. Absolutely. 3 stars. 4 stars even, I would say. Okay, we're gonna start hitting some of these Reapers once more. There's no extra queen by the... What the hell? Is this just 2 queens? What the hell are we doing here, Rogue? Because he doesn't have more gas mining. He is doing something that would be considered a little bit freaky by most people's standards. You know? This is not the missionary of StarCraft 2 builds. What is this? What are we doing here? 2 queen, 2 more overlords, but we're lacking a follow-up tech. He's running across the map with a lot of links, which, I mean, freaking great news if you're a Zergling and you want to run across the map. But for Rogue, he's just going to be way lower in the worker count. I don't think he can actually do anything here. He's going to be fighting against someone that is probably going to rush into Banshee. And now Rogue is still adding a couple of queens, but look how pathetic his creep spread looks. And I'm not saying this to flame Rogue, because this is a build order choice, not a mechanical issue, right? He just didn't have the energy available. He spent all of his energy injecting. Just didn't have the energy available to have creep tumors out. So he's trying to go for it now. We're gonna go for a Raven rather than a Banshee. Okay. Hey, I don't know what the hell Beyond is cooking, but I'm not sure if it's safe to eat. I am not sure at all if this is safe to eat. This feels like a highly theory crafted build. Like a highly theory crafted build. I remember one time we were at a we would often boot camp before we have tournaments in America. We boot camp at the Shopify office, which is in Canada, to fight jet lag a little bit, so like 2-3 days before, and we practiced together. Me, Scarlet, Beyond, Lambo. So we did that. I remember one time Beyond was practicing a build against the AI like 5-6 times in a row, and he was just kind of making it more efficient, a little bit better. You know, bit by bit, he was improving this build, making sure that it was as efficient as humanly possible. And then after trying like 5, 6, 7 times against the AI, he asked Lambo, "Hey, like, you want to play against this once?" And he plays against Lambo, and Lambo absolutely destroys him. That's kind of what it feels like sometimes, you know? It's like, once you start getting a little bit too fancy and too deep into the theory, it is good to be brought into what could practically work, you know? And that is, I am not sure what this is gonna be. Like, I feel like this is really cool. It's like you have the grenades to bump links around and queens. You have the Raven that can clear creep, but also can use an anti-armor missile, of course. You can also use it for auto turret. So you really have quite some options here with this army as to what you want to do. But is it good enough to break a line of 6 queens and 30 links? Personally, I'm not entirely seeing it. Okay, we're gonna go from the bottom side here at the same time as we're hitting the middle as well. This is gonna get surrounded by the links. No carapace quite yet. The auto turret now drops down. Deals a bit of damage, a lot of indirect damage here. When it comes to the mining time loss. This is quite decent. 53 workers total, only for Rogue. He has a pathetic worker count. His creep, given how late it started, is honestly fantastic. Like, I wouldn't call this good creep spread overall, but given the context of the game, he's honestly been spreading this pretty freaking fast. Yeah, why not? Decent stuff. Spore's gonna get sniped here though. He's fairly low when it comes to the health on this army. It's gonna snipe a couple more links, but does need to piss off with both of these medevacs. Raven with auto turret available, still idling here on the bottom side. Infestation pit comes in. So Rogue, after last game's, well, not really success, but after last game's build, decides to go for the exact same thing again. So that the fast carapace infestation pit stuff, you hate to see it. Although this time, I think we're gonna walk into a 4cc rather than an 8 Rex of some kind. Hive comes in here as well. Two upgrades starting here too. As an infestation pit is done. We're gonna get our first few infestors out. This area is freaking nasty, by the way. It's actually such a nasty area. I was thinking about something the other day, which I'm not sure if it's good or I just like the thought of it, but you can put tanks here, right? And they can really hold this area quite easily. I feel like adding some buildings into it. Like having, like you drop with 4 medevacs, 2 tanks, and then 1 medevac carries 2 SCVs. And you put like a depot here. You don't even have to finish it. And like an eBay on the other side. It's like, what the, how are you going to clear that? Unless you're playing Mutalisk, you're not clearing that. Like this base is not, you cannot take it. And this area is super hard to hold as well. Like you could do the same here, look. Freaking tanks over here. Build like a depot and an eBay. I feel like it would be so sick. This also might just be theory crafting, you know, after I flamed it earlier. But I don't know, to me it just sounds like such a good play. Like you can never kill those tanks unless you're playing Mira. If you know you're not playing against Mira, you can do it. Like both of the fort bases are so hard to break these tank positions. I guess you'd have to take this thing, but that's a pretty short rush distance from the 3rd base of the Terran, so it's also not ideal. And if as a Terran you're forcing the Zerg to take this, like you've pretty much succeeded at life already. Like you're freaking cooking. Absolutely. Couple more links now, moving across the map. Mines are being added into the mix, so this is Rogue's map hacking. It's beautiful to see him do this. He doesn't always do it, but he frequently has like some spotter links. Much more than other players. Like most other players, they'll burrow at bases, which is still what we're seeing, right? We see a burrow here. We don't see anything here, by the way, but Rogue is one of the few players that just likes having links in random positions, and rather than having them be above ground, he will frequently borrow them, if you remember. It's like, there's one over here as well, which is such a key position, right? You can see the stim in coming already if the army is coming from down here. However, if an army is set up here on the bottom side, it's a little bit tougher to see it coming, as right now we have the double drop heading in. Marines, however, in position. Imagine 2 tanks behind this. Freaking depot. Freaking 15 link to the side. And wouldn't have been capable of clearing it. I'm not saying it's genius, but I am definitely bothering Clem on Discord after this game. I feel like this is a good idea. And next time you guys see it, you know who the credit. Me. It will be I. Finally. Alright. 3 more Marauders on the way, 4 more Marauders on the way. So this is usually a like kind of a key indicator in the TVZ matchup is when Marine production stops. So or at least halts in a major way. We'll usually see way less like of this type of aggression whenever we see the Marine production stop, because it just means you want to build a better army that is more suited towards a late game situation. This position is freaking crazy too. Like this tank position, like look how much it covers. Like it covers a large portion of this ramp, it covers a large portion of the north side as well, and it has very good attack range, like towards this area. So I freaking love that spot. Once again, I really feel like buildings over on a fort base, or just like buildings to lock in tanks, are kind of underrated. And when I say kind of underrated, I mean super underrated. Especially now that Abduct isn't available, the only way to stop him is just blinding clouding. Which, fair play, you could blinding cloud it, but I mean, you can always do that. It's not like being locked in is a downside in that case. You're still not getting attacked. Medics, we still see some play in the fight. Alright, here we go. Ooh, lots of links actually falling. Beyond making a major push out right now. Rogue wants to either go for a drive-by, or is planning on something a little bit more sinister, like a flank. No, it's going to be a drive-by here into the 3rd base. I love how he ignores the 4th base largely, because there's nothing to do here. As I say that he does lose an ultra there. Tank is going to go down. At the same time, we have a cancel on the bottom side. We have 3 fights at the same time right now. 1 in the 3rd, 1 over here down at the 4th, and 1 over here at the 5th. The 5th is going to fall. The bottom side went down as well. This base is being evacuated. And this drop can actually redrop again. So we're still active in at least 2 of the places right now. We have a couple of Marines that are running in forward. This Ultra is still active as well. SCVs are actually falling at a very high pace. And 87 drones against 67 SCVs is probably not what Bian had imagined here when he started this. He's adding 4 more barracks to go up to 11 right now. This is not necessarily a very common way of playing the late game with a very high barrack count. Usually we see more of a focus into command centers. Bian seems to have had a change of heart when it comes to that. +1 air weapon attack as well, +3 melee. Pneumatized carapace coming in here into the mix as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you have? 5 bases. I mean, Rogue lost his 6th. Rogue lost his 7th. But he dealt serious damage to a 3rd base. And there is no 5th. There is no 6th. Like, this is... I think overall this was kind of fine. Like, resource lost, 10k to 8k. I guess it's like 10.3 to 7.7. So it's still a pretty okay difference. But at the same time, it's like Rogue is okay with those numbers, I think. This is a map where taking your opponent's bases is completely viable. Or at least taking majority of the bases, right? Zerg usually takes these 2. Then taking this for Terran can be tough. Taking this for Zerg can be hard, though. So it's like it's a bit of both. And if Rogue wants to win this game, he probably does need to start taking some of these more neutral bases, or the bases that are considered a little bit more neutral. We're going to get a double drop towards the bottom side at the same time. Ling, Ultra, Baneling moving towards the south as well. It's going to mirror the movement here off this drop. As we have an attack onto the 5th. No overseer with this, which is frustrating. Ling saw this command center trying to float over. And as a result, Rogue is in position to deal with this. This tank is so freaking crazy. It's like, this tank is actually so busted. It's insane. It is so freaking busted. Rogue feels like this base is important enough to have a bunch of units down there. See, Bian going to drop. He's going to drop 2 Marines. They're going to die. Not the end of the world, really. A couple of Liberators here on the bottom side as well. We're currently at 5 Liberators. What I see, 3 Ghosts, 15 Marauders, 82 SCVs, which is a decently high amount. Command Center being added into the mix. A couple of turrets as well coming in right now as Bian manages to max out. Has a lot of gas in the bank, is adding turrets, starports, 2nd armory. I'm expecting a fusion core to be done. Not the case. Not even on the way yet. I wonder if this 2nd armory was supposed to be a fusion core. Because I think both Caduceus Reactor and Advanced Ballistic, so the energy upgrade for the medevac, as well as the range upgrade for the Liberator here, would have priority over like vehicle weapons? Or do you get ship weapons? I don't even know what you're getting here. The tank count seems to be fairly low, so we just have a single one. So I'd say ship weapons, especially with the add-on of 2 more starports with reactors. We're gonna go ship weapons and Liberator, Ghost, Marauder, Marine, Mine as like a general playstyle. Bian still doesn't have really that high of a command center count. He's adding a couple more. We now have a major drop going into the main base. This is horribly, honestly. This is such an awful start of this drop. At the same time, we're going to get an attack through the middle, where Bian is completely unprepared for this. Tank is going to get smacked around by these Ultra-Lists. Planetary is getting freaking destroyed here by the Ultra Bane. Links have burrowed in multiple locations, so this is going to require at least 2 scans to clean up. Command Center is taking quite some damage. I think that Rogue is doing fantastic here. Okay, we get 1 scan. That means minus 10 links or so. We're going to get a burrow of 5 links in the natural here as well. Still have some here in the main base too. This base has fallen and is being reset up. This is not what I'd necessarily consider a good position for Bian. It just feels like he doesn't have a good army. At all. His army actually freaking sucks. Okay, let's call a spade here. And let's call a Bian a Bian. 27 overlords? Hello? What? Why are we doing this? He already had 8 overlords. I guess he's gonna mess... Oh, this has to be a misclick. No. ...27. Now has 11 overseers and 35 overlords. I have legitimately 0... Okay, he's actually just... Okay. Okay. So he wants to make sure that he never gets supply blocked. This is some serious investment here into the Overseers. This is disgusting. The Mass Overlord late game transition. 39 Overseers all of a sudden. Okay, we're cooking right now. So this is the style that we've seen Rogue play for a while. I completely forgot about it because I honestly haven't seen him do this. I haven't seen him get into these super late games where he gets to get the 40 Overseers. But whenever he does, his win rate is extraordinary. It actually is extraordinary. So every single Changeling needs to be manually clicked. You can actually splash Changelings as well. Some people don't know that, but if you shoot at a group of Changelings with a tank, the splash will kill them. Well, not all of them, but you know, the ones in the nearby vicinity. But if you don't have splash, you actually need to manually click every single one. And if you miss just one, there's going to be vision on your army. And it's just such a daunting task to clear every single one the entire time. So far, I have to admit, Beyond has done a fantastic job at it. But the problem is it's a never-ending process, and adding Changelings into the mix is much simpler than clearing all of them. So eventually one is going to slip by, and once one slips by, then more will slip by, and you can come from 10 locations at the same time. You don't have to send all of them through the middle. It is not necessary. And like, you're so busy dealing with this. It's extremely frustrating. Okay, there we go. Yep, and now they've entered. It's going to be tough as hell. Like cleaning every single... Oh, never mind. No, I'm still right. Yeah, cleaning all of them is just impossible because the moment something else happens, you just lose them. And you can't go around chasing these idiots the entire time. So right now, look at this. Boom, Ling run by is coming in while you're busy chasing Changelings. Our boy Rogue is busy running at you, killing 15 SCVs just like that. Depot's going down here as well. I think we're going to need to start adding in some Corruptors into the mix here too relatively soon. We have all bases on the bottom side. We have the forward hatch here too. And I think the kind of the prioritization here should be this one and then this one when it comes to mining. I'd even love to see just a full pool of these gases, a full pool away from this base as well, because these bases are gonna get gotten at some point. Double Knight is on the way as we do a major attack onto this top base as well. And it feels like Rogue right now is in prime position to start dealing some serious damage. I don't even think that Bjorn was aware of these double Knights is going down. Like, he's going to need to deal with it right now. He's going to need to clear so many Changelings here to look at that. If we hold position, actually, yep, there we go. Good luck getting in here. Every single one of these Changelings needs to be cleared, but at the same time, Lings are ransacking your main base. Rogue is still moving around as well. Honestly, beautiful gameplay. 34 Overseers, 81 drones. Really not even that many ground units. Like, he has 6 Ultras, 22 Banes, and 13 Corruptors. So, like, there's really just not that much. Because he has high drone count and a pretty high Corruptor count as well. But it's enough to deal significant damage every single time. Because he's just hitting wherever the hell his opponent is not. Like, there's Changelings freaking everywhere. We're going to send in another wave, I bet, relatively soon. Ooh, Rogue is going to go for a snipe here. He's going to lose 2 Corruptors, 3 Corruptors maybe even. No, he's going to lose none. 12 SCVs go down though at the same time. For every single attack that gets stopped, like, Rogue just goes in and deals more damage somewhere else anyway. Like, it legitimately just doesn't seem to matter here. Like, I'm having such a tough time seeing him do anything useful. I'm just not seeing it. I did see him, by the way, get some nukes, right? Yeah, I didn't make that up. Nuke is kind of like the counterplay to Changelings, because where the Changelings... Oh, hold that thought. 1 second. It's not gonna get this place. We have a lift available. Essentially, it was quite expensive. Not a huge amount of it. If you're clearing all minerals with an almost pure gas iron, it's not great. Terran tends to have plenty of minerals. Right now, Terran actually has plenty of everything. Yeah, what I was gonna say is that the nukes, they're kind of the Terran version of the Changeling, right? Like, you need a lot of attention to deal with nukes. You need to check every single base. I guess having a lot of spores preemptively is great for that. But it's like it's an attention thing, really. That's what's happening here. It's not like Beyond has a worse army, or Beyond has worse micro, or it doesn't like he doesn't know how to multicast. It's just the style that Rogue is playing just requires way more inputs from the Terran than it does from the Zerg. If the Terran is always in the right position, the Terran obviously is gonna win. Like, just as a better army. But it's so tough to always be in position, and you're going to have to keep clicking every single one of these Changelings every single time, or you're playing against a Zerg player that has map hacks. And it's really hard to play against someone that has map hacks. Okay, it's not freaking easy at all. 8 command centers coming out. So 8 orbitals are out already, 3 more on the way. Ship weapons level 3 is about to finish up. We have 3 vehicle plating already, by the way. So these lips are actually getting really freaking tanky and really big on the power output too. More changelings now running in. I mean, we have vision legitimately everywhere. He actually has vision freaking everywhere. These guys are just running into the main base. Yep, we're gonna get a lift onto onto the depot, but that's gonna block him too. He could actually block in 2 positions at the same time. If Rogue was a little bit more, you know, aware of what is happening, he could have absolutely blocked this ramp. He could have blocked this area as well. Could have blocked this area with changelings. Like 3-4 areas here that just can be easily blocked with 5 to 6 changelings. But at the same time, Double Knight is now coming up in the main base, while we also have an attack over here. Rogue sees what's going on here, believes he can go in. Oh, the block with the changelings! He's surrounded. I've seen a lot of changeling plays, but this is the first time I've seen like a flank. Like just holding the ghost in place here. They couldn't leave. They actually could not leave. And at the same time, ultras popping out into the main base, links in the natural. As a large portion of the ghost here end up falling. So far, 7 ghosts have gone down. I think majority was in that last fight. What a cute move. I didn't even think of that. But if you hold position changelings, the ghosts just cannot move through them. This was also in hold position. I do believe that we got a couple of big EMPs here onto the Overseers. And Rogue is actually struggling massively for gas right now. He doesn't need to be, but he is. Like, he's just not mining from enough extractors at the moment. And that is completely on him. Ooh, mine is actually going to connect big time. Sniper going to connect there as well. Like, Rogue is very close to running out of steam. Like, he's extremely close to running out of steam. How close is Beyond to running out of bases? So we have 8 patches here. We have 8 patches up here. 3 over there. And then 4 down here. So it's like 2.6, 2.7 bases, I guess. Because this is about to mine out. It is going to be tough. It is going to be very, very tough for Beyond to do it. But he still has a bit of a bank. Yeah, Rogue is taking 2 gases. I think taking 4 gases here is not necessarily a luxury. Army values are close, but slightly favorable. Well, yeah, slightly favored for Rogue, who has a bigger army now as he cuts some drones out. Here come Corruptors into the mix. Changelings moving forward at the same time as I think this base might just end up falling. A couple of links here to just clear mules. SCVs would be fantastic. Overseers and Corruptors flying through the turret field. Not quite what you want, but a lot of Overseers actually end up falling here. We're down all the way to 22. This base hasn't gone down either. Gas count extremely low for Rogue right now, as Beyond is honestly starting to make some plays. I think Beyond is wanting to take this base. And if Beyond gets this base, he eventually will get access to this. And if he gets access to this, he'll get access to this bottom side, which Rogue has not been mining hard enough. He hasn't been pumping those gas reserves out of the ground. No, he has not. We're gonna get another attack in. Link flank coming in. Is going to get the surround. Corruptors nearby, so a pickup is gonna be risky. Pickup is gonna be close to impossible. That one was full of ghosts and ends up dying. Liberator falling here at a high pace. This is the most successful fight that Rogue has had in a while. As he does have pretty decent vision with the changeling, but I think the main thing is just that his army is growing a little bit bigger due to him cutting out some of those drones. Planetary is gonna fall. Beyond with a major L over here in this battle, in this game. Rogue similar in the bank still. Maybe lost like what, 2k minerals or so, but has dealt significant damage to the economy of Beyond and has cleared a large portion of his army. And rebuilding that army is going to be tough, because it just takes time. It takes time to get an army like that back. Roll 9 mules out of the sky. That is freaking crazy. Nidus does come in, and a couple of links are gonna try. But no point to that, I think. Just don't think that's viable. Changelings once again moving in, sees the rotation. Links are trying to go in for a run by, maybe. It's just freaking impossible to deal with, no? Like, there's vision everywhere. Freaking changelings running in the entire time. Overseer count has significantly dropped though, and there's just no gas available to rebuild those. So I think we are kind of having the, You know, we're seeing the final minutes of this Overseer style. But the Rogue manages to keep the bottom side bases, which is the most important thing. These extractors could start mining at any moment. These extractors should start mining at any moment. And right now we're up to 161 links. 28 Banelings, 9 Corruptors. 2 Ultras in the mix as well. So we have an attack towards the top side. Everything is just going to end up dying here. I don't think it's worth it to kill a hatchery to lose an entire force there, but I'm not a top Terran player. Mines will need to burrow here. It's hard to see what's going on, although he's overseas covering it. Fungal came seemingly out of nowhere. What's from the back? Where the hell do these guys come from? This is a great fight once again for Rogue. Liberators are going to keep this base alive, but for how much longer is the real question, obviously. Overseer's taking some damage, 132 links and 3 ultras on the way. Corruptor count does get decimated. Overseer count down to 16 right now. I think the reality of the matter is that Beyond is going to need a base, and he's going to need it sooner rather than later. This base is now mined out, so we have 3 patches remaining here. We have 3 patches remaining here. And we have 4 patches. No, at this point 3. No, 4. I just can't see them. 4 patches remaining over here. Quite some minerals on these 2, but these 2 are not practically empty, but close to being empty. He has about like 2.5k more minerals in total, I think, that he can mine. And that's going to be the end of the game for him. It's like half an army that he can rebuild. Mine's trying to set up as Rogue moves in. Wants to clear this once and for all. And it's going to get it. Even with just this, well, triple 4 corruptors. Set of 4 will be capable of eventually taking out all of these Liberators. It's going so slow though. With the armor upgrades, the Liberators are actually kind of freaking tanky. Gonna line off that. Very good. Plus 3 attack. GG is gonna get called. Rogue wins game number 2. And Beyond will need to figure out a different trick. The beauty of a game like that is that as a Rogue you're gonna feel very comfortable if you get to the late game, because I feel like you showed such good, just everything really. Like speed, the ability to rotate towards the correct fights, good micro in the fights, like a lot of interesting ideas in there. It does feel like Rogue kind of has like a book of tricks, and then he just goes through it, and once he's done, he'll just start over again from the start. He's like, okay, I can mass Changeling, I can burrow infestors, like I can throw Niduses in your main base. Like there's just so much. He has like a couple of things that he wants to do, and he'll just continuously do them until at some point there's just too much going on, and you end up dying. Like at some point it felt like Rogue was about to break, and then in the end, the moment he went down from like 80 drones to 62, 63, I think it was 64 maybe, it just felt like he became unbeatable. Like that 20 extra supply helped him so much, and just, I guess like the 40 extra links or the extra Banelings or whatever it was that he constructed extra. It did so much for him, and he started taking way better trades and taking out key objectives, which I think is the most important thing. Like you're pretty much infinite money. Like you're freaking Mr. Money. Like we're talking Rockefeller rich, you know? Like absolutely pumping the cash. Like gold running through your veins. Drone's gonna survive for now. Link's trying to chase his Reaper. There's something very relaxing about watching Reaper's micro. It's also surprising to me that like all these gun sounds don't bother me so much, you know? Like it sounds just right. Very often when I play different games or RTSs, like the sound design, like it just doesn't feel nice, and you want to turn down the sound. Like with StarCraft 2, I want to feel the Reaper shot like going through my freaking body. Like you just feel it. It's so nice. I freaking love sounds. Personally, I'm a huge fan of sound. What about you guys? Be sure to leave your opinion on sound in the comments. And I'll be going over it in a sound review stream. Alright, what else do we have? We have a tech lab. Is this going to be 4 car? This is really fast cars, by the way, isn't it? 324 they popped. Next ones are going to be out pretty much instantly. He delays his barracks. I wonder why that is for this. Like, he has big plans with these cars. So usually what you do is you get 2 Hellions and then barracks, or you get barracks and then 2 Hellions. But he's delayed barracks to get these cars as soon as humanly possible. And then he saved them up to not kind of warn his opponent for what's happening here. Rogue is building 6 links. I think it's just going to be a straight-on drive-by. If possible. Well, that's not possible, though. Whoa, it might be. Here we go. Beyond is going to go by. There are links out already. These 6 links falling are actually going to be saving the day here for Rogue. Oi, 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 oi. Small drone pool here. 2 of the bad boys will end up falling. 3 drones will fall here. I do believe that that's going to be a bit of mining time lost. We're going to get a fast carapace here once more out of Rogue. Overlord scouts in. Look at this. 3 barracks as a follow-up. With pretty fast upgrades. So, Beyond is really kind of changing up this build. So, he delays his barracks, and to kind of make up for that, he needs to get more barracks to still get 16 Marines by the time his starport finishes up. But his starport is going to be delayed. Usually this reactor would be for that starport already. But right now, his first gas is going to be into the 1-1 upgrades. So, there's just lots of trade-offs being made here. Delayed barracks for faster Hellions, but also faster upgrades, but delayed medevacs. It's like, there's some things going on there that are different. This is not just a standard game. So there's some small things being done. Although I don't like how the early game went, I can see this ending quite poorly for Rogue if he doesn't respect the power of the 1-1. The power of the 1-1, especially without banelings. Like these, I'm telling you, these non-baneling styles, they scare me. They really do scare me. Like, it is so easy to die to good Marine pushes. Marine tank, Marine Hellbat. Like, it's not a good time. We could even imagine, like, 2 Hellions coming in here and an armory being added. And you go for, like, 60 Marines, 2 Hellbats. If you have 1-1 in combat shield, like, how the hell are you gonna beat that? You'll need, like, 12 Queens. And then you might as well just build Banelings, if you know? In order to be safe, you need to build so many Queens. Like, how economical are you actually being? Not very is the answer. Not very economical at all. Either way, I do like Rogue's position, so nothing of value has been lost yet. Probably going to need to stop at some point when it comes to the droning. I think 64, 65 is a very reasonable number. Rogue's just a reasonable guy, what can I say? It's adding a hatchery in the main base. His fort base is finishing up right now. It's adding 10 more, 5 more drones, 6 more drones and an infestation pit, 7 more drones and an infestation pit. He believes he's a hero already. Is he safe? It's gonna be 24 Marines with 1-1 in combat shield versus this link count. Yeah, so far, okay. So far, so good. Because 1-1 isn't done yet. But we have 18 more links on the way. I'm never sure if I'm gaslighting myself or not. But yeah, this is not necessarily a great fight for Rogue because he didn't really kill anything. Lost quite a few links. 8 or 9 or so. Loses 1 more for free. Like, this is the thing that scares me. This is the push out. 1-1 finishes up. This is like 30 seconds faster than usual, by the way. He's still building drones. Look how fast these queens are gonna fall. +1 carapace has died, but they're gonna die as fast as usual. But look at this interaction. No bangs. You just can't do this. You just can't do this. Infestors need to come out to help out because you need the damage of the infestors to stop the healing so much. There's a chance here that Rogue actually just straight up dies. See, look at the 79 drones of a Purling, 800 gas in the bank. I think he's dead. I think he defended the early game perfectly. The first 4 Hellions did nothing, but he just wasn't ready for this timing. Look, these infestors come out exactly when a standard 1-1 timing is supposed to hit. Exactly when a 1-1 timing is supposed to hit. Beautiful. Beyond, he kind of understood what his opponent was doing. He absolutely understood the assignment here. And he executed well enough to get a victory. Rogue ends up losing this game, and Beyond wins the series with a 2-1 score. Nice.